administration to take up, to write something which is not correct.
Not with respect to the exams and all that, Lord, the lenient will be taken, Lord, because of this reason, Lord, they were on protesting or on strike.
That's all right. So ask them to first return to work.
Yes.
Once they return to work, then if nobody is going to take any adverse action against the doctors,
That
let them all
will be-
come back to work.
Word from your Lordship will work, Lord, for them.
Let them first come back to work, and then if there's any difficulty, just talk to us in the court here. We'll make sure that there is no adverse action against the doctors.
Very well.
We quite see that they were all upset about the fact that there was a very serious injury. Then we will prevail upon the authorities not to take any
Adverse.
adverse
Very
action.
well.
Yes.
But they must first come back to duty for the simple reason, otherwise the people who,
They are on
people who,
They are-
people who
but
need,
them are on-
people who need the services the most are deprived of their
Yes, sir.
services. That's the only concern. How does the public health infrastructure run if the doctors don't resume work?
Lord, only my lord,
All
one
right,
thing.
now first let's have the status report. We first want to see
My
the
lord, these are
status
the three
report.
copies. Lord, I believe the anguish of the doctor is correct, but having come from your lordships, an assurance that your lordships are looking into it, my lord, I think that should satisfy.
Malaja.
With the assurance of no adverse action, my lords.
Lords, we are absolutely, my lord, grateful to your lordships that lordships have intervened. Lords, we have not been heard, my lords, at all. Our grievances, my lord, are at the forefront because we are, my lord, facing the brunt of this, my lord, whatever is
Well, the
happening.
reason why we constituted such a broad-based committee is we have specifically said that the committee shall engage with all stakeholders, including, that will include the resident doctors. So please assure them,
Yes.
that the committee, one second, Mr. Ansari.
Sorry, sir.
Please assure the resident doctors, they all are young doctors, that they will be heard by the,
We heard, my lord, and some representation.
but tell us one thing, we can hear you,
Federation.
Mr. Kamath, we hear you for half an hour. We are not the committee.
Lords,
Ultimately, you have to be heard by the committee.
Yes, what we were requesting, my lord, some, my lord's association, whatever your lordships choose, my lord, some representative from the resident doctors association, if they can be a
Yes.
part of the committee.
Yes.
But their
One
voice,
second, Mr.
I'm
Ansari.
sorry, I'm not saying.
You see, please understand.
we leave it to your lordships, my lord.
Mr. Kamath,
Want
please
voice-
understand. We have thought through this very carefully. If we start now asking for the representatives of various stakeholders to be a part of the committee, that becomes an impossible process because, the committee's work will then get dislocated. You know what happens. You have such an experience yourself. At the same time, we are conscious of the fact that the primary concerns of the doctors, the nurses, the paramedical staff,
There's a pen
that
drive.
has to be taken into account by the members of the committee. You know, for two things, that on the committee, we have very senior women doctors on the committee. The doctors who are on the committee are people who have worked for a long time in their life as part of public health infrastructure. So therefore, what we have expected the committee to do is that the committee will hear these various stakeholders, namely the interns, the residents, the senior residents, representatives of the nurses, the other paramedical staff. So therefore, they are in a hospital, there are a huge number of stakeholders. The committee will ensure that it will hear representative.
Hold on, my lord. In fact, I have taken instructions. So I represent about 30,000 doctors. my lord.
Please, and Mr. Kamath, please tell them that the committee will definitely give them a hearing. We'll reiterate that in our order today. We will certainly, Mr. Kamath, your point is well taken. We'll make it clear.
My lords.
Lordships are permitted, IMA, my lord, it will be
That's,
Absolutely, Mr. Kamath, we are grateful to you actually for personally, because our hearts go out to all those people who have to go to public hospitals. So we will make an observation that the committee would hear all stakeholders, including the Resident Doctors Association. Of course, not 30,000 doctors, but a representative.
not find an application.
Right. And an appointment can be given to them when the committee assembles, so that the committee can, because your stake is very high and your inputs are very valuable. So please assure the resident doctors that we were now passing an order that the committee will give them a representative voice in putting forth their grievances, their working conditions, so on and so forth.
Suggestions.
Today and
Our suggestion,
and then call off their, my lord's protest, my lord.
we will also say that.
My lord,
My
can
lord,
I- can
my lord,
add-
I appear for
Lordship
the
permitted me to
RG
add-
car.
Can I?
Mr. Ansari and then Ms.
Yes.
Lord, I appear for the Delhi Medical Association.
Yes.
Lord, we filed a writ petition in 2022, Lord, raising the same grievance.
Right.
This court says, as and when any incident happened, Lord, we are grateful to your Lordship. Lordship could show moto, otherwise we were contemplating to file. There is a judicial order there, any order, Lord, any incident happened, then you come to us, Lord. Lord, now, my Lord, we are the association of 110 years old. As Mr. Kamath has said, my Lord, there is being a part of the committee. My Lord, can I'm so
can
sorry.
we just suggest one thing?
Yes,
I think
my lord.
because, in such a large matter,
Yes,
we have to bring
yes.
some order to the
My lord.
order to the order also, which we pass.
Please, Lord, sir.
If all of you who are intervening for various bodies
Yes,
can give on a slip of paper
yes,
name of the body
yes.
and whom you represent,
Very well.
we will put that in our order.
I understand.
So that your
I-
clients have that assurance that, look, the Supreme Court is also factored in our
I
grievances.
understand, my Lord. That will be very useful.
So
my Lord.
then we will say that out of these, the committee may take an appropriate decision on engaging with the representative.
But all that we were saying, my Lord, the committee constitute of a very respectable persons, my Lord. Lordship has chosen them. But some representation from the associations, my Lord, those who face day-to-day, my Lord, problems. Making representation to the committee and being a part of the committee, my Lord, would be a little, my Lord, we have been hesitating this law. I'm sure, but Lordship thinks it appropriate.
Talk to my
Lordship may take it, my Lord.
I'll get a
Yeah,
response from.
That would be very helpful.
I had made
Two more aspects, my Lord. Two more small aspects. Lordship has flagged, my Lord, about 11 issues which the committee will take into account. Two more aspects, if your Lordships can kindly consider that. One is, my Lord, the distress call, my Lord, we mentioned it day before yesterday. Lordship said it will be part of the order, my Lord. I have seen, Lord, it is distress call system, my Lord, which is available, my Lord, on drop on a watch, on a mobile, my Lord. That can also be, my Lord, a part of it. Secondly, my Lord, institutional FIR, my Lord. What has been happening here, my Lord, the parents has to go, the relatives has to go. There should be an institutional FIR within 2 hours of a cognizable offense, my Lord. If that also comes with your Lordship's part of the order, my Lord. And finally, my Lord, the fast tracking of, my Lord, we have done cases 10 years back, my Lord. The trial is still proceeding. Lord, in 2016, my Lord, a person was murdered, a doctor was murdered inside the hospital, my Lord, at a point blank range, my Lord. Nothing happened. There was a widespread agitation. The chief minister said 50.
We got that.
What I'm saying, there are similar matters pending in this court. If a Lordship expedite that.
To obviate, handing over slips, but we'll go about in a very systematic way.
Yes,
Mr. Devdatta Kamath is appearing for whom? Will you go first?
Instead of your lordships writing down, let us give
Can
it.
you just, it'll be easier for us.
It would be
spend the
easier.
next 5
It
minutes.
doesn't look good also.
All right.
Your
My lord.
lordships are very kind, my lord, but
All right, what we are doing is, we are just circulating a sheet of paper. If you can all just, as we are going along with the matter, write it, so we'll examine that and we'll put your names down.
I had made a request
This
yesterday.
My lord.
Some SOP, the committee is looking into it. There is no SOP on the hours of the doctor.
Of course, we said that.
it is a specific
It's a mandate.
remit of the commission.
Kiran, one second.
And the slip will.
One of the points which, that one para where I say, this is a non-exhaustive list, which specifically says that they are made to work for 36 hours. And one more thing, we have said, we have referred to working conditions in general, which includes the work. So please assure the doctors, we are as concerned about them, that they have to work for 36 hours.
Yes.
All of us have also had family members, relatives. We have gone to public hospitals.
Yes.
I have slept on the floor of a public hospital when somebody in the family was not well. So we have gone through that. And you observe all of them working for 36 hours.
Lord, we would
My
also
lord,
not like, we would not like, my lord, a doctor who has not slept for 30 hours to treat us, my lord, because
May I just explain what happens in the hospitals? Because I have doctors in the family and also people studying in the medical colleges. What happens is that the senior, who are the third-year students of PG courses, they are the one who assign duty. You do 12 hours to 24 hours, and then thereafter you are given a rest for 2 to 3 hours. Again, you are called back on duty. The junior doctors are the one who prepare the discharge summary. And the discharge summary is prepared by them. So the workload is then again 2-3 hours. So it is almost 48 hours. It is not even 36 hours. So my humble submission is that you are neither in a physical state or a mental state at that stage to even resist if somebody is teasing you. I'm not even on the bigger sexual assault. I'm not on that because there are many incidents.
Currently, if you look at our order,
Yes,
Sorry, Ms. Kumudata Das, you know what, if you see our order,
yes, Your Lordship.
if you see our order, we have in fact highlighted this very aspect, that there is a certain hierarchical nature of the workplace in a public hospital or any hospital. So when we have referred to that, and we have said because of the hierarchical nature, doctors, including junior doctors, are susceptible to harassment, not just sexual harassment, but different kinds of harassment.
Yes, Your Lordship. Yes.
So we have specifically referred to this, but now that you have mentioned it, in a course of our order, in a brief order today, we will add to that as well. No difficulty. Your point is perfect.
Family of doctors. Is that the counter to that, of course, is the fact that there are lots of peer-reviewed studies to say that continuity is important. Now, obviously, doctors can't be treated like this in light of that. So the committee should look into it and propose something
You see,
that
there is
has
another, I'll tell
adequate
you one thing.
safeguards.
I'll tell you one thing. We have got so many emails. I've been flooded with emails which I've been reading to the extent humanly possible. There's another viewpoint also that, look, if you have doctors only on duty for 8 hours, then the purpose is that the doctor must be able to see the evolution of the patient. So that patient is there overnight, then your duty hours may extend beyond 8 hours so that you see that what is the development in the case of the patient between the time you entered and the time you exited. But we are not going to make any comment on that. The committee will.
Your Lordship.
But for
Lordship,
one other
But certainly,
One thing is
48 hours of duty or 36 hours of duty is a little too aggressive.
Is not really human. My Lord, may I say, I'm representing the KG Car Medical Junior Resident Doctors. They are still RG Car. And my Lord, they are
By
still.
the way, Brother Justice Rishikesh Roy pointed out to me in another CB yesterday that you kept on saying car is car. So I said, well, I
we are
apologize. to him.
forgetting one crucial thing.
So, my Lord,
Can I speak?
can I
We are
just?
forgetting one crucial thing. All the doctors, my lord, which your lordships have constituted in the committee, they have passed through this very phase. They are aware of the problems.
So, my Lord, I'm just saying that they are still terrorized. They are still in fear. They are saying our senior residents are back at work. We'll give it to the Registrar General in a sealed cover, the names of the people. There are about 70 junior residents and they are interns. And they are still feeling terrorized. They are threatened. They are actually being targeted
Geetal-
in the hospital.
But terrorized by whom? Because this is a serious thing. And they
Yes.
in the RG or medical hospital. medical college.
is
What-
already
what-
there now.
What is their
But
grievance?
instead of, my lord,
We-
giving them here, let them be given to me. I'll ensure, my lord, CISF to do the needful. My lord.
Yes, but we have to have their names in sealed cover because those who've spoken up are feeling targeted already. And they have a
But-
timeline
targeted-
of
but targeted-
videos they have taken.
Targeted by whom? Don't give us names, but targeted broadly
By
by.
officials, my lords, by goons, I am for
By-
20,000 doctors
by-
in the, Kolkata, my lords.
But
And
your lordship sees the.
many of them work in
by,
RG Car.
Possibly a hint of.
By members of the administration, by people who are in the hospital.
All right,
and
we'll take note of that. We'll
Yes,
take-
Lord.
There's one more submission, Your Lordship. There's a last submission, Your Lordship, I want to make. Can we have a compensation distress fund
That's been-
for the victims and the deceased of the family created by the state so that when at the time of the crisis of this kind of situation, they can be also get a compensation system like what we have done in the Nirbhaya case, Your Lordship.
All right, let's just see the status report for a moment. We'll just see the status.
With your lordship,
Just give us one moment.
with your lordship permission, may I just,
1 second, we'll have to
Lordship
put in.
permits us, then should we post on the filing, e-filing, the suggestions of the pointers that we have, because it is anonymity which the resident doctors and interns from different places they are requesting, because the direct impact is on them. And their mental state is terrible. There is also a survey report of National Medical Council which says that 28%.
Point taken.
Under-
There should be a portal where suggestions can be given to the
Yes.
committee, even anonymously, without disclosure of identity.
Yes, Your Lord.
Point well taken. Noted.
Lords, after the status report, could we have 1 minute on the SIT, my lords? We are representing 5 associations of doctors. And the difficulty is that there is an institutional compromise with regard to the financial regularities and the rate. Here's why. There were the same gentleman who was the head of